Today I'm going to show you my everyday makeup routine from start to finish, and including all of my face products, a really easy everyday taupe eye makeup look using my original Naked palette from Urban Decay. And that's pretty much been my everyday look. I've been wearing a really bright, bold lip color too for the past few weeks. I just think it's a really easy way to spice up your makeup for spring. So usually in the summertime all I need is a little bit of, little powder foundation to correct my skin tone and fight shine throughout the day. And normally I would use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish for that, but I actually found one, the Benefit Hello Flawless, that I like so much better by a mile. So I'm going to show you how I use it in this video, and I guess I'll get started. So I hope you enjoy this. Okay everybody, do not adjust your computer screens. This is what I look like without makeup. This is what we call the dreaded before shot. Earlier today when I got out of the shower, I applied my L'Oreal Collagen Moisture Filler moisturizer, and this one is SPF 15. It just makes your makeup look really nice. I haven't been using a primer lately or anything. And since this is a low maintenance powder foundation routine, I like to start off with my concealer. The more correction I can do with my concealer, the less foundation I have to use. So I like my Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer for this, and my shade is Sand. I don't have a lot of breakouts right now. I just have some redness around my nose and mouth. So that's what I like to use this for. So I just dot it on in a couple places and then blend it in with my Round Top Kabuki F82. It just brightens up the center of my face a little bit, which I think is a really flattering look, especially when you put all the pieces of the puzzle together and finish it off with foundation and everything. And for that step, I'm using my Benefit Hello Flawless Custom Powder Cover-Up for Face. My shade is Never Settle Petal. Just looks like that. And I'm switching up to my Flat Top Synthetic Kabuki, my F80 brush, getting a little bit of the product on the end of the brush and just tapping it over any areas where I applied concealer, just to set it before you go crazy blending it into the rest of your face, just so that you don't remove any of the concealer while you're buffing. Then once I've got that done, I can pretty much just blend it around the rest of my face. And this brush, the F80, I actually usually like to use this with liquid foundation. Sometimes my skin will get a little irritated by other kabuki brushes when I'm buffing in a powder product, but this one is just really soft and smooth. And this is my NARS eyeshadow, smudge proof eyeshadow base. So I'm just applying that to the center of both my lids and making sure it's nice and blended. And this is my Neutrogena Healthy Skin Eye Brightening Perfector. And my shade is Fair. It's just like a click pen type thing. And I usually apply that in a little tiny V in the inner corner of my eye. And then very lightly just blend it in with my finger. And on top of that, I usually layer a more yellowy toned concealer. That's kind of a very bright, this is almost like a really bright pink. So this one is my Neutrogena 3-in-1 Concealer for Eyes, and that's a little bit more yellow toned, but the shade is actually called Fair as well. And all I need is a tiny bit of this, and it works so well with the other eye brightener. I like to blend this down into a little bit lower, just so it blends into the rest of my foundation. If you want, a lot of people I know use their same face powder to set their under eye concealer. My dark circles are just they're too bad. I can't do that, as you probably just saw. So I like to use this powder eye brightener from Bare Minerals, and this is called Well Rested. I'll just tap a little bit out into the cap, and using my E40 blending brush, just take a tiny bit, and starting in the outer corners, just so I don't get too much product in the inner corners, tap it right over top of my concealers. And that sets everything up so it lasts all day without creasing. And as you may have noticed, I like to brush some of this product along the top of my cheekbones, kind of back all the way towards my temple. I just think it gives a nice overall brightened appearance to my complexion. And by this time, my eye primer is definitely dry, so I'm going to switch to my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which is basically just a cream eyeshadow that matches my skin tone. I think if I'm correcting the rest of my face, I want to make sure my eyelids are corrected as well. You could use a concealer, some of your foundation if you wanted to. I just get the best result with this with my Painterly paint pot. Okay, for the next step, I definitely have to do something with these brows. I feel like I look very strange without my brows filled in just because they're pretty much non-existent. But for that step, lately I've been using my Maybelline Master Shape eye pencil, and it's actually a tinted wax. And I actually have a love-hate relationship with this product. If you've ever tried it, then you probably know why. I do like the fact that it has a little brush on the other end, so I kind of go through and brush through my brows to begin. And the other side is a tinted wax. Like I said, I think the color that I use is soft brown. So it's a plastic pencil without a roll-up mechanism. I searched for a week because I thought, oh, there must be some way to advance the little tinted wax. No, my friends, you actually have to sharpen the plastic pencil. At first I was pretty appalled by this, but I actually have gotten kind of used to it, and I like the way the look that it gives your eyebrows. It's definitely a very precise, very defined look, but since you can't really sharpen it that well, I had to learn how to work with it. So I just fill in the center of my eyebrows. So I'll fill in the center and then I'll brush the color out to the edges and blend it out using the brush on the other end. And that's actually been working out pretty well. Using my Naked palette, the original Naked palette from Urban Decay. And I'm going to start off with this eyeshadow right here. This is called Sidecar, and it's a nice neutral sparkly taupe. Using an E55 shader brush, I'm patting that all over my lid. Focusing it, I'd say focusing it more in the outer 2/3. So applying it all over my lid and then up through the crease as well. And I do have to be careful with this eyeshadow just because it is so gorgeous. I love the color, but you do get a little bit of fallout sometimes. And then keeping that same brush, I'm going to use Sin, which is a really pretty muted pink. Very shimmery, but still very wearable. And I actually like to layer that over Sidecar and apply it in the inner corner of my eye. And it just brightens everything up. It's a really nice color to layer on top of darker shadows. Gives some more dimension. So you can see the colors, how they kind of work together, hopefully. And then I'm going to take another clean E40 blending brush and pick up some of this color Naked, which is basically just a muted tan color, a few shades darker than my skin tone, and I'm going to use that as a blending color. And just apply it all over my brow bone, back and forth like that. Then clean off this brush just a little bit, just because I'm also going to be using it for my highlight. And I'm going to use Virgin, which is a nice pearly, very light, pale pink highlight shade. And I'm going to swirl that in the inner corner. It also kind of, I don't know, I kind of like to blend out that inner corner with my highlight. That's why I like to use a fluffier brush sometimes. And pop some of that onto the brow as well for my brow highlight. Then I'm going to switch up brushes. This is an E25 blending brush or a crease brush, and I'm going to use Hustle, which is a very deep mauve color, and it's gorgeous for the crease. Just going to get a little bit on there and just feather that into the outer third of my eye in a V-shaped motion, making a V motion with my brush. And usually what I like to do with my everyday looks, especially when I'm using neutral colors like this, I'll just pull my crease color up just a little higher than I normally would with a brighter color. So you can really see it and kind of wing it out a little bit. And I didn't want to zoom in for this part because I think sometimes it can be helpful to see how to blend kind of farther back so you can get the bigger picture, I guess, and see how I'm holding my brush and everything. And same thing on the other side, of course. Then I'm going to pick up that same blending brush we used a second ago and just go over everything. Just make sure it's not blotchy, especially when you pull the colors up a little bit farther. You want to make sure it's blended. Then I'm going to use my Master Precise eyeliner pen from Maybelline. and just make a tiny little line of eyeliner, a little mini flick, just to accentuate my lashes. I don't want it to be too dramatic. Now for mascara, I'm using my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, one of my all-time favorites. I don't know if it's making my lashes grow, but I definitely feel like a lot of the little bare spots in between the clusters of lashes on my lash line have really filled out. Just been sticking with this. And you may have noticed I don't wear a ton of color on my lower lash line except for a little bit of mascara lately, day to day, just because I think that it keeps your under eye looking a lot more clean, and throughout the day that comes across as being, you know, looking more refreshed and awake. So yeah, now I need to add a little bit of color to my face. I'm using my Tarte Mineral Bronzer in Hotel Heiress, which is a really deep dark bronze color, and my F10 blush brush, powder brush, and just applying that to the hollows of my cheeks, temples, my hairline. Much better. And for my cheek color, I'm going to use my Tarte Cheek Stain in Tipsy. And this is a really easy product to apply. That's why I use it day to day, just because it's just very quick and easy. And it looks like that. It's a pretty coral color, and I just dab it onto the apples of my cheeks. And to blend, I'm just going to tap around the edges of that with my F84, my Sigmax F84. And less is more when you're trying to blend this cheek stain. And then my Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Gloss in Pink Pop. Even though it is very bright, it's surprisingly wearable, and I've been wearing this every single day, and I haven't found a look that it hasn't really matched with yet. So again, that's the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Gloss in Pink Pop. And that does it for my everyday makeup routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've never done my entire routine from start to finish before, so it's crazy to think I haven't done that yet. But anyway, thank you so much for checking it out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!